Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are working in what's considered the heart of the home, which is the kitchen. So I'm going to do like a kitchen reset today. So if you are in need of some motivation to maybe get up and maybe just clean your counters off or tackle the dishes that's in the sink, you're in the right spot. So if you're ready for it, grab your favorite drink and let's get started. I'm going to start here just by unloading the dishwasher. Anytime I'm cleaning the kitchen up, I always like to begin with the dishes first. What we usually do is load our dishwasher throughout the day. I start it at night before I go to bed, and that way the next morning there's not a ton of dishes in the sink, and I just get out the clean ones, and then we can just continue loading the dishwasher throughout the day, and then I start it at night again. This is how we usually keep the dishes clean. Now, every once in a while, they get piled up if I get busy or something, but this is usually our routine. The only exception is I do have a few pieces that I do have to hand wash, and believe me, I do not like to hand wash. However, I do it because I don't want to ruin the dishes that I like that skillet you see in the sink right here. That's my favorite skillet, and it has to be hand washed. I also have a cast iron skillet that I use quite often, and I hand wash it as well. I use the same soap that I use to wash this one, which is the Dawn. And I know a lot of people say not to do that, but that's what I've always done. And what I do after is I just put some oil in it, like some olive oil, and I just take a paper towel and wipe it around inside the skillet, and that way it seasons the skillet back. So let me tell you about this little strainer that I have in my sink here. A little backstory. Before we moved into this house, we lived in a rental house, and the sink got clogged with food. So I had never had that happen before, but when we moved in here, I went, and I believe I got this strainer at the Dollar Tree, and I leave it in there all day, and I empty it multiple times a day, and then I throw it in the dishwasher and let the dishwasher clean it, and then I put it back in the sink, and it just catches all of the food, all of the items, and that way your sink doesn't get clogged. Maybe you've never had that problem, but for whatever reason, that had never happened to me before. But when we lived at that rental house before we moved in here, it did happen to me, and I said, I'm not going to let that happen anymore. So I have used a strainer in our sink since we've been living here. And then you'll also see this little brush that I clean the sink with. I also just toss that in the dishwasher and let the dishwasher clean that as well. Let me show you this microwave, how dirty it is. There's splatters, crumbs. Just needs a good steaming. I usually put something here, like water with a little bit of lemon juice, and let it steam up in here. Like put it on 3 or 4 minutes, let it steam up in here, and then I wipe it out. Super easy to clean that way. And then I'll wash this in the sink. Let's get started. So this little cloth that you see me scrubbing with here, I'm a teacher, and my very first year teaching, I had one of my students, she had a sweet little grandmother that knit that for me, or maybe it's crocheted, I don't know, but anyway, I've had it for several years, and it is my favorite cleaning cloth when I need like a little bit of scrub, but not too much. As you can see, I use this Dawn Power Wash just about for everything. If you have to be able to reach really tall places in order to dust, you need to get you one of these little gadgets here. I got it at Walmart. It extends really tall, and you can make it as short or as tall as you want. I forget the exact length that it extends to, but our ceilings are pretty tall and I can reach all the corners in all of our ceilings, but I use it to dust like the tops of cabinets, windows, all of those. And it's got these little refills that you can buy to put on the ends. And this thing right here, you can also lock it to make it stay in place so it don't move. I'll link it below if I can. You may notice throughout my kitchen, I do not have a backsplash on the wall. When they was installing our granite, they offered a backsplash, and I told them that we was going to do a tile and not to do a backsplash with the granite. However, I know that I want a subway tile, and I still yet to this day, and it's been 2 years, have not been able to pick out a pattern that I like, because our granite, honestly, it's pretty busy. I wish I had chose something that was a little less busy, and I'm so afraid that when we get a tile backsplash that it's going to be too much pattern in too many places. Let me know in the comments below, would you do just a plain white subway tile? What kind of pattern would you do? Just what would you do? If you do not have one of these little grabber things in your life, you need one. This window here above our sink is so tall I cannot reach it, and this is the only way I can clean the windows. I can clean them about halfway up, and that's it. A lot of people will ask how you keep white cabinets white. So what I do is anytime I see something, I just wipe it off when I see it. I usually don't get a lot of that. However, I don't have little bitty kids at home either. My son is 11 years old, so we don't have a lot of messes. But I clean it when I see it. I use Pledge to clean all of my appliances. Dishwashers, the outside of it here is pretty dirty. I don't know if you can tell on camera. I love using the Pledge polish on all of my appliances. It gets off all of the fingerprints, all of the little pieces of gunk, and it just leaves a real pretty nice shine. And as you can see, I even use it on my microwave and my oven. I even use it on the glass door. It's just wonderful. So here's my stovetop. It's not too bad dirty. And I do not use the Pledge to clean it. I actually use this cooktop cleaner. It's made specifically for glass tops, I think. But anyway, that's what I use. It does a really good job. Just a little bit of this cleaner goes a long way. As you can see, I did not put a lot. And then what I do is take a paper towel and just buff it. And it kind of leaves like a white film on there, and you just keep buffing it, and it just removes all of the stuck-on stuff. Here is what I use to clean the granite countertop. I know a lot of people, they use Clorox wipes. The people that installed our granite told me to never use Clorox wipes. I'm not sure the reasoning on that, but I'm just afraid to use it. It took me a while to get used to not using Clorox wipes because that's all we used at our old house, but I didn't have granite there either. So now I'm going to clean the island, but I wanted to show you before I got started. I've got some stuff to clean off here, but I got this charger from Amazon. We're forever having things that we need to charge, and we plug things up here. We just leave charging cords out here, and so I found this on Amazon. It plugs in, and then it's got two retractable cords. One fits Android devices, and then the other one fits all Apple devices. So we charge phones, iPads, computers, everything, and then these cords actually they'll tuck back in here like that. I just usually just leave them out though, just because we use it so often. I'll link that in the description box. It came from Amazon. So, let me move this. Me and Callum, we like to do puzzles. So this is the last one that we did. We need to get us another one and be working on it. Keep on keeping on. I feel like the summer is going by so fast. And I feel like we have been more relaxed this summer than usual. We've not traveled a lot. We have done a lot of puzzles, a lot of games. Tell me, what kind of activities do you like to do with your children during the summer when you have them at home more? I know for us, sometimes we do travel a lot, and then other times we will just kind of take it easy and have a more laid-back approach and do more home things. But whatever we choose to do, whether it's travel a lot or stay at home a little more, I always feel like the summer goes by so fast, and then before you know it, there's another school year upon us, and I always get anxious when another school year begins, not just for him, but for me as well. It's always the hustle and bustle of getting lunches ready, getting out the door on time. I always feel like everything is always such a rush when school does start back. That's one thing that I love about summer, is that you can be a little bit more laid back and not be in such a rush all the time. Anytime I'm cleaning, I always like to end with taking out the trash and then vacuuming the floor. Now, you don't see me mop today because I do have a vacuum plus mop together, and I use that often, so that's why you don't see me mopping the floor here and I'm just vacuuming. But if you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate you, and I ask that you give this video a thumbs up if you like this type of content. That just lets YouTube know that you like this, and it also lets me know that you enjoy these videos. I ask that you please consider subscribing, and the best way you can help my channel is just to share my videos with your friends. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you, and God bless.